I run an e-commerce business. We're getting people into the website, but our conversion rate is terrible. We've made changes to the site. We've actually even rebuilt it twice. And we're generating traffic, but nowhere near enough visitors are becoming customers. If we're auditing my funnel, if you were auditing my funnel from scratch, where would you start and what would you look at first? I'm going to answer this, and hopefully I will be able to do a follow-up video where I can do a live roasting of this person's funnel. They've sent me a little bit of information, but it's a little bit private. But what would I do with an e-commerce funnel if it wasn't working? Okay, the first thing that I would do is I would look at the very, very start of the funnel. So this would be on the ads. So where I see a lot of people go wrong. So I'm just going to pick one platform. So let's say that we're using Meta. So one of the things that I would do is that I would first change your adverts to be different for desktop versus mobile. That's the very first thing that I would do, because the way people read on a desktop compared to a mobile is actually quite different. We then typically would go down based on gender. So we would have a different type of ad copy graphics for male versus a different ad copy images, etc. for female. We would then break it down further, especially on mobile, to Apple users versus Android, as an example, because they typically will navigate from a human behavior point of view. They will navigate your website differently. Also, based on age, the copy needs to change as well, and based on demographic and location and so forth. So that would be my first point of call, that I would look at that. So I'd be looking at how are you profiling your traffic. And there's particular frameworks that I use, and we used when we had our agency. We did thousands and thousands of campaigns, so we split tested this, and trust me, this works really well. So once you've got your profile, essentially do a full psychometric profile on your traffic. I would then look at where are you sending the traffic to. So we would typically send the targeted traffic to targeted landing pages, and we would have dynamic text that would change based on the landing page, depending on where the traffic was coming from, whether it was Google ads, the type of search, the type of country. For example, if we were based in the UK, but we were shipping to the US, we would have very, very clear pop-ups saying that, yes, we ship to the US, we've got free shipping at the moment. We would have a US flag popping up somewhere. And, we'd have then like a special offer that they would be able to see on that particular landing page that would then follow them through. Something else that I would highly, highly recommend, people don't like walking into a dark room. So what do I mean by that? The cortisol level in the brain goes up. So when someone clicks on your ad, you're going to get a natural drop off anyway, especially from Meta, from in clicking on the ad to go into your site. So you need to look at your load time. So between going from wherever the traffic is coming to how quick your site is loading, because you will get a natural drop off. People are distracted, right? It's the bright, shiny object in syndrome. As soon as someone lands on your site, I would have some form of instant reward, something gamification. You could do a spin wheel, you could do a free offer, you could do a free pop-up where, hey, we're offering 15% off for new users. The key with this is that you need to profile your customers coming through, which can be done, where you don't want existing users seeing the new user offer. So you need to customize it. So if you've got a repeat customer, you would have something different show. So this is what I mean by dynamic content. You'd also change your content. So for example, if someone was shopping in London or Birmingham compared to someone coming in from the US or Australia, you would have different type of offers. The imagery would change, so it'd be based on their IP location. So I'd have a look at that. The products that we would show, as in on the landing page and the recommended products, would be based on the traffic. So it's all at the point of origin. So you're looking at, okay, the type of products that we would show to, say, a male would be slightly different to a female, depending on the product that you have. So if we're dealing with, say, a women's clothing store, and we know at the moment, for example, I'm in the UK right now, we are going through summer and it is extremely hot at the moment, but we might show really nice bright colors, summer dresses, etc., depending on the age. Could even be that you would show a hat with it, but you might also have a winter range or an autumn range, but you wouldn't show the autumn range yet because it's still really hot. but you would have then suggested you might have a winter sale on, to have some bump offers at the checkout. So there's all of these things that you can do. The key with this is that every time someone takes a further step into your shopping cart and the experience, you need to be building trust. Imagine like you were stepping into a shop and you were wanting to buy something. This happened to me recently. I went to go and buy a dress shirt for a conference I was presenting at. The moment that I walked into this one store, the salesperson was on me. Literally, I hadn't even walked into the store yet, and they're asking, what do you want? How can I help you? They were trying to be helpful, but it felt pushy. And it was like, you know what? Actually, no, not really interested. Walked into another store, and the people were at the back, and they just acknowledged me that I was there. And I walked in, I looked at some things. They casually walked up and said, look, we're over here. If you want me to measure anything, we've got the changing rooms over there. If I can help you with any colors or anything like that, let me know. And I'm here. Cortisol level was reducing. I was seeing the different things that I was looking at that I liked. So my dopamine level was increasing. I started to become more relaxed. Eventually, I went over, asked. They helped me get some shirts that were fitted. And I walked out. Actually, I only went in for one shirt. I ended up buying 4 shirts because of the experience. I didn't feel pressured. You need to take the same approach on when you were doing e-commerce. When people are coming onto your e-commerce store for the first time, cortisol levels are high, which is why having the gamification or some form of reward, what it does a dopamine hit. And that is a beautiful thing to counteract and reduce cortisol. We also then want to get a bit of an adrenaline, maybe some oxytocin mixed in with all of this. So this is about walking people through and building trust as they go through. Now, we also know that when people get to the cart or they get through to particular areas on your site, there's exits. So there's going to be percentage exits naturally on your exit cart, on your checkout, etc. Have a really good exit offer, free shipping, a countdown, or have follow-up emails so you've captured some details. So there's all different things that you can do, but you don't want it to come across pushy. The other thing is it's all about the dynamic content. So if you can create this unique experience to the user that's coming onto your website, then that changes everything. So if you've already profiled the person coming through, you've got really good custom dynamic content that's going through, and you're able to see, especially in Shopify, what they're doing, what they're buying, or what they're looking at. As they go to exit, you can dynamically show that and say, look, this is the dress you were looking at. Maybe this one's on offer at the moment. We've got 20, 30, 40% off, or we've got, buy one, get one free, whatever it might be. So I would go through your e-commerce funnel and with kind of that lens. The other thing I would have a look at is your average order value. So what does that look like? I'd also have a look at the ad spend of what you're spending and where you're spending it. So I'd be really drilling down into your conversions based on keyword, time of day, location, not just by country, but where in that country are some of your best conversions. So it's really just taking the time to pull it apart. So if you do want me to, I know you've asked if I can do a full roast, and I'll see if I can get the video, or at least access to the store, and then I can hopefully do a video for everyone. Okay,